So, good morning, everyone. Now we're going to talk about disadvantaged children. So, disadvantaged children in the Philippines face numerous challenges, and this hinders their access to quality education. So, disadvantaged children, these children often come from low-income families, marginalized communities, or face specific adversities such as disabilities, displacement, or family issues. So there are five disadvantaged children. So first one is children come from low-income families. So these children come from poverty-stricken areas where basic needs are only limited, such as house, food, and especially education. And number two is street working children. So these children engage in labor. So they provide for their families. That's why their attendance in school gets affected. So number three is children with disabilities. So there are types of disabilities. It could be physical or intellectual disabilities. So we have already tackled about this, and these disabilities with children could affect their access to quality education. And number four is indigenous children. So, accessing to quality education could be hard for them because most of them live in some rural areas or they face geographical isolation where quality to education is limited for them, and also they face discrimination because of cultural differences. And last is children affected by disaster. So those children living in areas impacted by natural disasters could disrupt their education and support systems.
So now I will going to discuss with the four challenges faced by the disadvantaged children. So first one is the economic barriers. Many disadvantaged families cannot afford school fees, uniform, transportation, or learning materials, leading to high dropouts. For example, so a family that have any job, so their children cannot go to school. The second is social barrier. So stigmatization and discrimination can prevent school from assessing education opportunities. So this is particularly true from children with disabilities or those from indigenous background. For example, some people might think kids with disability can't learn as well as other kids. So they might not get the same opportunities in the school. They might be put separate classes or get the special help they need. So this makes them to feel left out, like they're not good as other kids. Kids from indigenous backgrounds might face the similar challenges. Some people might think that they're different or not as smart as they might, not to get the same opportunities in school. The teacher might not understand their culture or speak their language, make it hard for them to learn or feel comfortable inside the class.
And next is geographic barriers. Children in remote or rural areas often have limited access to schools and educational resources, making it difficult for them to receive quality education. Additionally, the lack of infrastructure such as transportation, electricity, and internet connectivity further exacerbates these challenges. This creates significant barriers to learning as students may not have the necessary tools or support to fully engage with the curriculum. For example, in many rural areas of Sub-Saharan Africa, children often have to walk several miles to reach the nearest school, which may which may lack basic educational resources like textbooks, desks, and even qualified teachers. This limited access to education can severely impact their learning opportunities and overall development. And next is family responsibilities. Young children may be required to take on adult roles within their families, such as caregiving or working, which interferes with their schooling. Additionally, young children who take on adult roles within their families may experience emotional and psychological responsibilities they carry. This can lead to issues such as increased stress, lack of time for play or social development, and diminished academic performance. When children are expected to care for siblings, work to support the family, or manage household tasks, they often miss out on crucial educational and developmental opportunities, which can have long-term effects on their overall well-being and future prospects. One example is when a young child in a family may be required to take care of younger siblings while parents work multiple jobs, and this caregiving responsibility can limit the child's ability to attend school regularly or complete homework, affecting their education and overall academic performance. And next is family responsibilities. Young children may be required to take on adult roles within their families, such as caregiving or working, which interferes with their schooling. Additionally, young children who take on adult roles within their families may experience emotional and psychological responsibilities they carry. This can lead to issues such as increased stress, lack of time for play or social development, and diminished academic performance. When children are expected to care for siblings, work to support the family, or manage household tasks, they often miss out on crucial educational and developmental opportunities, which can have long-term effects on their overall well-being and future prospects. One example is when a young child in a family may be required to take care of younger siblings while parents work multiple jobs, and this caregiving responsibility can limit the child's ability to attend school regularly or complete homework, affecting their education and overall academic performance.
Four educational strategies of disadvantaged children. Number one, alternative learning system or ALS. ALS, a non-formal educational program in the Philippines that provides a second chance for out-of-school youth and adults to develop literacy skills and complete basic education. ALS programs are community-based and can take place at libraries, barangay multipurpose hall, community learning centers or homes. So, for example of ANSI, like is children from low-income families, children, working children, and out-of-school youth or adults that they feel embarrassed of their age. The second one is community-based support programs. Focus on early childhood education and development for disadvantaged children. These initiatives often include establishing daycare centers and providing essential resources to support children's learning. An example of this one is scholarship, free school materials, and feeding program.
So the third one in educational strategies is support services. Support services is how various NGOs provide scholarship, tutoring, and materials to support help disadvantaged children overcome barriers to education. Initiative also focus on enhancing parental involvement in children's education through training programs. So the fourth one is holistic approaches. Holistic approaches, organizations like Save Children emphasize comprehensive development by addressing health, nutrition, and psychosocial needs alongside educational support. This holistic approach ensures that all aspects of children's well-being are considered. Disadvantaged children in the Philippines face significant barriers that impact their educational opportunities and overall development. Through targeted programs and community efforts, it is possible to address these challenges effectively and promote a more equitable society where every child has chance to succeed.